My feet are swinging, my head is spinning. You've got me dangling on a line. You keep me swinging all the time. Say yay or nay, dear, but either way, dear, please won't you make up your sweet mind. Don't keep me swinging all the time. Sometimes you smile, sometimes you frown. Oh babe, I go up and down. My heart spins round and around. I'm walking on air, getting nowhere. Can't swing much longer, don't get no stronger, and only you can set me free. Just say take me or get you hence, but don't sit on that fence, 'cause my suspense is killing me. To love you can't be a crime, don't keep me swinging all the time.
It's delightful. I wish I could sing like that. But it's not everything singing, you know. It just isn't. I mean, the Bosch are no man's fool, let's face it. And the only important thing these days is, well, in my opinion at least, is rhythm and melody. Rhythm and melody is what the public want. And my Jove, they're going to get it as far as I'm concerned. My Jove, yes. Now, wait a minute, I've got my little ukulele here. Illustrate really fully what I mean. My feet are swinging, my head is spinning. You've got me dangling on a line. Oh yes, you've got me spinning all the time. It's not quite right yet, I grant you, but it'll come. It's a matter of practice, that's all. I'll come back on that in a moment, if I may.
I wasn't keen on the assignment when my editor first handed it to me. Do a feature on Major Rafe Ralph. There's been so many stories about Major Ralph, the colourful horse dealer who'd gone into the business of managing rock and roll stars. I mean, he'd personally discovered such disc names as Lenny Bronze, Clint Thigh, Matt Lust, and such vocal groups as the Fleshpots, the Muckrakers. There were always 5 or 6 up-and-coming rock stars living with him in his luxury flat in Mine Street, so it was naturally there I went to get my interview.
These rock and roll boys are big business now.
But it must be so very different going from horse trading to rock and roll singers.
Well, of course it is. I mean, horses have got a better ear for music. You ever seen a rock and roll singer, Miss Lisbon? I mean, have you ever seen one up close?
Well, no, I'm mostly on book reviewing.
Well, a good specimen. He's about 17 or 18 years old. About 5'10", fully extended, sagging to about 5'4" in the singing position. Points to look for are the forehead. Shouldn't be more than about ½ inch of that. Plenty of mouth. The lower lip permanently slack and wherever possible fallen arches. They save a lot of trouble in mid-career, you know.
I suppose a nice musical singing voice is what you look out for as well, is that right?
Right, oh, yes. First sign of that and out he goes.
To me, the most fascinating part is that you always house 5 or 6 of these rock and roll stars in your own home.
Well, it's not all that eccentric. I mean, some of them can be house-trained with a little patience. Would you like to see one? Get one for you.
Major, some rotten hands pinch the strings of my guitar, look.
You've got the guitar on back to front. How many times must I tell you the whole point's away from you?
so much to learn so little time.
And you should know better than to enter this part of the flat. It's in your contract. Where the carpet begins, you halt. Now, which one are you, anyway?
Sir Rambo.
Not your real name, the name I gave you. For heaven's sake, I've embroidered on your T-shirt for you. Look there, man. Look, there. Between the sunset and the coconut palms.
Oh, yeah. I'm Twit Conway.
Try and remember it in future. Come over here now. Come over here and meet this. Come on, faster.
Can't walk any faster. These crepe soles, I'm so high off the ground.
Still yourself against a wall. What have you done to your blue jeans?
I had to cut the knees out, Major. I had to cut them out. They were so tight my kneecaps went all green.
Well, you're not going on television looking like that. You just borrow my fountain pen and ink and wear the flesh shows. I want you to meet this lady sitting in the armchair. She's from a newspaper.
Hello, I'm a journalist. My name is Nancy Lisbon. I should so much like to do a story on you. I mean, you as a person. Tell me, what does it feel like to suddenly find yourself a teenage idol?
Well, it don't make much difference, really. I mean, I was idle before I was a teenager.
No, what the lad is trying to say, Miss Lisbon, is that success has not spoiled him. He is still the same twit he always was. Right, lad?
Yeah, that's what I should have said, yeah.
Of course it's what you should have said. Now, don't be nervous, lad. Just remember our lessons on how to answer press questions. Just bear in mind what you've been told to say.
Well, Twit, do you want to stay a rock and roll singer all your life? I mean, what is your ultimate ambition?
We are just good friends.
That is the answer to another question. Remember, the answer to this one is, I want to become an all-round.
Oh, yeah. I want to become an all-round
Entertainer.
Entertainer, yeah. My dream is one day to play Old Vic in Shakespeare.
How sweet. You're fond of Shakespeare? Are you fond of Shakespeare?
We are just good friends.
He's rather shy still. Just a sweet, lovable lad, natural, fun-loving, and a good son to his own mother and father. Tell Miss Lisbon how you look after your parents, Conway.
Who?
Your parents, your mother and father.
Oh, yeah. Now that I've got some money, I've been able to move my old mum and dad into a small house.
I bet they're delighted.
No, they ain't. They was in a big house. It was the Major's idea. You see, he said, you're a victim and I'll flog the leg.
Yes, I think Miss Lisbon has probably had enough. Okay. Now, well, Conway, back you go to your quarters. Tell Vincent Donny I'll be along very soon for some hip-twitching practice.
All right, sir. Well, goodbye, Miss Lisbon.
Goodbye, Twit. And if you think of anything further, here's my card. Well, I think I'd better be getting along too, Major.
Right, well, I'll see you to the front door. I trust, Miss Lisbon, you won't go and write one of those nasty, lurid stories about my kids. I mean, you saw Conway for yourself. He's just as normal and well-balanced as any other 17-year-old ex-plasterer's mate suddenly earning 1,000 quid a week.
Yes, it has made me think.
And don't you go making me out to be a sort of profiteering Svengali, will you? I mean, these boys stay here willingly, because to them I'm almost a second father. We enjoy a very beautiful relationship. Beautiful, Miss Lisbon, because it is based on trust, mutual trust.
It's a very rare quality in this modern world, Major.
It is indeed, yes. Don't touch the door knob. It's got 2,000 volts running through it. Well, good night, Miss Lisbon.
Good night, Major.
Nowadays, it is the custom to think of the aristocracy and leisured classes of Edwardian days as being devoted to little else besides selfish pleasures and amusements. Now, this simply was not the case, and I would like in the next few minutes to attempt to destroy this fallacy. As a very young boy, some of my earliest recollections are of being taken by my father
in those days Chancellor of the Exchequer, on his occasional tours of the estate at Charters. In the course of these expeditions, it was his practice to visit those among his poorer tenants and employees who, by reason of accident, old age, or sheer carelessness, happened to be destitute and nearly starving. Dear faithful Elliot, the coachman, would invariably accompany us, carrying an enormous wicker basket which was covered with a dazzling white cloth and containing bowls of dripping and cold stock, cabbage stalks, potato peelings, and other nutritious kitchen scraps. As well as these material comforts, my father also distributed tracts of an improving and uplifting nature which he wrote himself and had printed at his own expense. I very well remember one occasion when my father and I visited the sick bed of an ancient and decrepit wagoner who had somehow managed to get himself badly trampled underfoot while attempting to stop a runaway horse and cart. Although the poor old fellow could hardly move, he made a pathetic effort to sit up in bed and tug at his forelock as we entered the wretched bedroom. You see, our sudden appearance induced in him what psychologists now call a conditioned reflex, and this honest rustic could no more have prevented himself from trying to show his respect than a dog can prevent its tail wagging at the side of its master. My father, who I think I may have mentioned before, was at this time First Lord of the Admiralty. He began to tell the invalid that such formalities could be dispensed with under the circumstances, but too late. With a sickening thud that I can hear to this very day, the grizzled pate came into smart contact with an oak beam which curved down just above the bed, and with a low moan the unhappy man fell back stunned onto his pillow. He never regained consciousness. Distressed as we were at this incident, my father and I offered a word of cheer to the wagoner's wife, and we pressed upon her a basketful of rotten apples and a bundle of tracts before proceeding on our philanthropic way. A most merciful release, observed my father after the wagoner's funeral. Why, he might have lingered on in a bedridden condition for many years, a misery to himself and a burden to others. Providence works in many strange ways. As a footnote, I would like to add that there is no doubt in my mind at all that my father, who was then, I fancy, President of the Board of Trade, would actually have attended the funeral of his late employee had it not been for a sudden attack of gout that kept him indoors on the day. I hope, in relating this anecdote, that I have indicated something of the wonderful sort of relationship which used to exist between the family at the Hall and the peasantry on the estate, a relationship which, alas, is nowhere to be found nowadays. It is not everything, I fear, that has changed for the best.
Good afternoon. Today we have with us in the studio Newton Tweedsdale, art critic of The Onlooker, J. Wallace Larwood, book critic of The New Politician, and Faith Bradshaw, film critic of The Sunday Sun. This week we have all been to see the exhibition of paintings by Auguste Streptoponicas Bonstad at the Royal Tate. Newton Tweedsdale.
Yes, well, of course, Bonstad is always exciting, isn't he? Isn't he? Yeah. And I'm bound to say that I enjoy the exhibition immensely. Nonetheless, one thing did strike me rather forcibly, and that is the fact that, well, to me at any rate, his later work seems to suffer from a lack of cosmic awareness that is entirely utterly at variation with the obvious sensibility of his more youthful canvases.
What do you have to say about that, Faith Bradshaw?
Well,
one more, two more. I'm sorry. Points I would like to make, if I may.
Yes, what are they, Tweedsdale?
One can now detect in Bonstar's present work a certain, how shall I say, a certain architectural, architectural, as well as lyrical quality of suspensive secrecy with regard to the brushwork. Sense of fossilized motion, seems almost literally to spring at one from some of the paintings. That's all I have to say.
Faith Bradshaw.
Well, you see, I should have said that sensing the resurgence of the traditional stress was exactly what Bonstar has done and is doing. I should have also said that he habitually used angular fragmentation of pigment in order to consummate his all-pervading theme of hermetic anarchy.
J. Wallace
It's as simple
Larwood,
as that.
how did the exhibition strike you?
Well, I know so little about art, I'm afraid I'm rather out of my depth here. I can only say that I was strangely impressed by what I saw. Now, this may appear fanciful, but at times the nature of the work seems so embarrassingly personal that one can almost get a feeling that one was intruding.
Oh, exactly.
Well, wasn't it La Rochefoucauld who said toujours le monde se fait entendre avec le singe?
Singe.
And of course, didn't Schiller have it? Das ausgeschlagen. Ausgeschlagen, was in der Seiten ein Tag?
Yes. Well, we appear to be agreed on essentials here and divided only on minor points. So now the book that we have all been reading is the new novel The Seeds of Distress by Luigi Salame, published by Bodley Hamilton at 15 shillings. J. Wallace Larwood.
Well, I've been reading Harmonium in the Dust by Eustace Grimes.
Oh, I was told to read Tomorrow Was New Yesterday. You know, the translation from the Japanese by Lafon.
I'm afraid nobody's told me to read anything at all. I didn't say what the point of talking about.
Exactly.
It seems to be a bit damn stupid, I must say.
Yes.
Rather awkward. Something has obviously gone wrong.
Absolutely.
And we'd better pass on quickly to the film that I do hope we've all been to see.
Yes.
Dear me, I shall never live this down.
Oh, yes.
The Seven Brave Tractor Drivers, which is being shown as part of the current Festival of Russian Films at Studio 9. Faith Bradshaw.
Well, I'm going to be quite honest about this. I liked it.
You liked it?
Yes.
Well.
Yes, I did. I liked it.
You have to be true about these things.
There was a certain rugged earnestness combined with subtlety about
I
it
quite
that
agree about
I
that.
found wholly irresistible, but wholly irresistible.
It's very interesting.
Oh, in that outstanding scene alone, where the hero paces the pigsty alone as he wonders what to do.
Yes.
Well, the montage in that scene, you know, is so wonderful. It's so fulfilling due to the imaginative cutting of the highest order.
Yes, it
That
has an
scene,
intrinsic value,
well,
I thought.
I mean, it's utterly superb.
Yes,
The
yes.
camera appeared to flick, 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 flick,
That's
like
one of
an
the things
inquiring eye from Ivan's tortured face
I
to
liked
the
about
cobweb
it.
on the ceiling, exactly.
Brilliant
From
cutting.
the cobweb to the grandfather's wooden leg standing by itself in the corner. What
Symbolic.
poignancy there! What a telling touch! You know, this to me, this is true cinema.
Wallace Larwood, have you anything to say about this?
Well, I was just wondering if I might like to get a few words in, as I'm the only one who's done any reading on Harmonium in the Dust.
Well, I'm afraid not. We don't have time, and we don't want to go back on something we're not very clear about. Newton Tweedsdale, what effect did this film have on you?
Well, may I say at once that I found it in the end very trying.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't pretend to be an ardent cinema goer, but I did. And I thought that Razenkov, in his direction, was far too eager to protect the electric images of his own emotional language instead of allowing the intrinsic concepts of the film to speak for themselves.
Oh, no, think you're reading that in.
Well, no, I don't think I am, because have you never paused in a tube station, for example, and seen a hoarding all torn down,
Yes, I
and
have.
the girl's face, with all moustaches on it, and what the sense, a great feeling of
I
emotion
don't see the
standing there,
affinity.
all torn down. One has felt so lonely, so terribly lonely. That is why I prefer Rasenkoff in his pre-Eisenstein period, when he gave us the biographical trilogy on Lenin. That was when I really liked him.
Well, I'm afraid I must cut it here. I can quite see that we've gone arguing this point for a long time. However, we must now bring the programme to a close. I'm terribly sorry about this mix-up.
It is rather
I've got a pal, a regular out-and-outer. She's a dear, good old gal, and I'll tell you all about her. It's many years since first we met. Her hair was then as black as jet. It's whiter now, but she don't fret, not my old help. We've been together now for 40 years, and it don't seem a day too much. 'Cause there ain't a lady living in the land as I'd swap for my dear old Dutch. No, there ain't a lady living in the land as I'd swap for my dear old Dutch. I calls her Sal, her proper name is Sarah, and you may find a girl as you'd consider fairer. She ain't an angel, she can start a drawing till it makes you smart. She's just a woman, bless her heart, is my old girl. We've been together now for 40 years, and it don't seem a day too much. 'Cause there ain't a lady living in the land as I swap for my dear old dad. No, there ain't a lady living in the land as I swap for my dear old dad.
Wat doe je? Je kent me al 40 jaar. Ik heb je net ontmoet. Ik laat me door jou niet voor de gek houden, onbeschofte Engelsman.
Get back in the kitchen, you rotten old Dutch person.
Mr. Harris, I hope you won't be offended if I begin right away by asking you a rather personal question.
Yeah.
Tell me, to what extent are your recent actions motivated by self-interest?
Well, I do feel that
actions that I'm about to say have excited adverse comment in many sections of the press. Now, are you not at all worried by the storm of controversy you have unleashed?
No, I'm not. I feel that
Just one moment.
I'm
You're
not,
trying to say then, Mr. Harris, in
I
so many
was trying to
words, that
say,
the
yes.
hornet's nest you have stirred up is nothing more than a storm in a teacup. Well, now, if that is the case, I'm afraid you are going to find very few people who will agree with you.
I don't know. I'm afraid I just
Yes,
don't
please
care
let me finish one
about,
moment. The public is, Mr.
Handl.
Harris, I think, entitled to a more detailed explanation than you've yet given. Would you care to enlarge on it?
I was about to try to enlarge on it.
Yes.
But
Now,
you won't allow me to get a word.
I have a feeling, you know, Mr. Harris, that you're trying to sidestep the issue.
No, my dear fellow,
But
I'm
we will
not
drop
at
this
all.
particular matter for the time being
why
and
should
pass
we-
on to something else.
As you wish.
Now, Mr. Harris, there is a rumour now gaining ground in certain circles that for a man in the centre of public affairs, your private life is not perhaps all that it should be.
Really?
Now, is there any substantial truth in this? I'm going to be quite blunt with you, and in return I expect you to be equally so. So tell me, am I not right in thinking that you are in fact
I beg your pardon. I'm afraid I'm not...
And is it not also true that you are a lifelong member of the Communist Party?
I want to say right here
One moment,
now.
Mr. Harris. You've not...
I'm
one moment now. You've not yet answered my
not,
previous question. I
I'm
repeat
trying
it.
to.
Are you or are you not a practicing...
I'm sorry, my dear fellow. I must tell you
You're
right
being very
away
evasive, you know.
I am not prepared to stand here.
Please listen to me.
No,
I am only seeking a simple, straightforward answer to what I think you must admit is a simple and straightforward question.
I think then you must listen to me.
Look,
if I could only just try and tell you without being so...
Can we be serious for one moment? After all, Mr. Harris, you know the purpose of this interview is to get at the truth.
Please, just allow me to say
one... What you are saying, in effect,
I haven't said
you
anything
are right
yet,
and everyone
though.
else is wrong.
No.
Isn't it? I mean, I suggest you are deliberately trying to withhold information rather than reveal it.
My God, I've got nothing to hide.
Yes.
On the contrary.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Look, I'm sorry. I've never been so insulted in my life.
What the devil's going on? Where the hell am I doing in here?
Mr. Bedam, your new play is having a great success in London. I wonder, could you tell me...
I'm not telling you nothing, you spud-faced bastard. I'm not telling you nothing.
What I would like to ask you is...
Got a terrible thirst on me. Where's the nearest
what I would like to ask you, what does it feel like
You know something? I used to know a snivelling bloody skull and a double a nickel that looked at the image of you. He got a piece of wet putty for a face just like yours.
You
know, I did throw up every time we looked
May
at
I ask you, are you writing anything at the moment?
I'm not writing nothing. I'm filthy stories for What's With Mother, that's what I'm writing. Who put this filthy stuff here, I
Can I
don't...
say, to ask you, what extent does the Dublin background of your childhood influence your writing?
Where's the gent?
Mr. Bedam, is there any one thing you dislike most in life?
Yes, there is. Being asked stupid questions by a snotty-nosed squid who ought to be strangled with
Mr.
a dog
Bedam,
skull tie.
have your experiences
That's what I hate the
in
most.
prison made you bitter in any way, perhaps?
Could I not just think a couple right now? A couple this very minute.
Sorry, I can't do anything with him.
What's this filthy muck doing on here? Get it out of it. Here, get it out. Oh,
Hello,
damn bloody
continuity.
insult to a fella. That's what it is. A man could die of thirst and nobody lives. The figure to help him. I'm off to find myself a
Sorry, I
bottle
won't
for
take that from
company.
anyone, no.
Get the hell out of my way. Get your...
Please don't. I'm
face
nothing
out
to
of
do
here.
with this. I'm reading what is
I don't
here.
care what
Please
you
leave me alone.
Anyone got a fag? Tom, is this Burke shown up yet? Oh, no, here he is now.
Well, I'm now in the studio and about to meet the famous Lenny Gunnigan. He's standing just to the left of me here, looking very smart in a silk suit and cashmere cummerbund. Isn't that right, Mr. Gunnigan?
I don't want no autographs, if you don't mind, man.
You don't quite understand. I would just like to interview you.
Well, I'm always glad to meet the press, because the public I can't stand. You understand that I can't stand? It's like this way, man. I was working on a railway, man, and I couldn't stand the public.
Did you personally discover folk music?
Well, I wouldn't go until I come along. There was only a lot of bohemians singing in cellars. All they was doing was singing this music, man.
And now?
Well, there's a lot of bohemians and me, man.
Well, it's very interesting. And are you anything to do, perhaps, with rock and roll?
Rock and roll? I'm a folk singer, man. I sing blues. Dad, you see, I work songs of the people and the peasants. That's what I sing, because I'm working on a railroad, you understand?
Very well put, especially wearing a 50-guinea suit. Do you travel widely to collect these songs of yours, Mr. Gunnigan?
Oh, yes, every Saturday I go down Doble's Jazz Record Shop and I collect all the latest folk stuff, you know, around the world in 80 days, all this. And all I like to have records that go round, you see?
In the jazz books, they talk about the Deep South, where all this happens. Have you been to the Deep South?
Well, I've been all over, man. You see, I've been Brighton, Portsmouth, Truro, Penzance. I've been all over. I go everywhere in my travels, all over the place, especially to all over.
Now, you have a song that's #1 over here at this very moment. Where did you discover that one, for example?
Well, there was an obscure folk song hidden at the top of an American hit parade, and I made it famous by cutting out all the verses and having one long chorus, like Puttin On The Style chorus, puttin' on, and one long chorus. It was working on a railroad. Well, it's very fascinating.
And I've just finished work on another song called Land of Hope and Glory.
But surely Land of Hope and Glory, that's a well-known piece, isn't it?
Caught on quick there, clever Dick. Hum the chorus, hum the chorus, hum the chorus.
Well, I don't really hum.
Don't you believe that, boy? Oh, funny joke there.
Yes, very.
You see, every time I go to picture the place, I know the song at the end. I've been working on the chorus. See, I'm putting on the chorus in the cinema on a style. Hey, I'm working in the cinema on the railroad in a style. I'm working in the style on the railroad in the cinema. Hey, I'm putting on. I'm putting on.
Well, I think I'll leave you to get on with it. Goodbye.
Well, there was a man who was working on a railroad, and he was working away on this here railroad, and he got a little old hammer, and he kept hitting them wheels, because he was working on the railroad. That's it, he was just hitting away and working on the railroad, hitting away them wheels with his hammer. Suddenly one day when I was hitting away them wheels on the railroad with his old hammer, hitting away and wheeling and hammering and wheeling, a fella come up says, "What you doing, man?" He says, "I'm hitting these wheels with my little hammer." He said, "You don't want to hit them wheels. You want to be careful when you're hitting them, because you've been hitting my leg some of the time." So he said, "Hey, man, I never knew that was your leg. I thought that was a wheel." He said, "Man, I got a wheel that's shaped just like a leg, or the other way around, whichever you prefer." He said, "Man, I just don't care a damn, long as I got something to hit." Then he'd go tapping a little bit more, and then he'd stop tapping. "No, you try and get them taps in as I tell you, man." Well, here we go. John Henry come down from Washington one long hot summer day to bring some water for Sylvie, or was it Nellie Gray? He put away his hammer and parked his chewing gum. But Sylvie didn't dig him, 'cause nobody loves like an Irishman. Oh, then he gave up women, 'cause there were none around, and he caught that midnight special and was Alabama bound. He played a little poker with a good old gambling man. That good old gambling man, he lost his shirt and let out one great big gooly dime. He did some great hard traveling without a shirt that was back. From his waistline to his neckline was the well-known Cumberland Gap. Now times are getting hard, boy. They'll be better in a while. For I'm gonna rock me daddy-o and Tom Dooley, and I'm not gonna be a word man. No, nobody's child man, because I'm just a great big old square man. And you know, man, something, I dig Brubeck, and I like Ed Thigpen, and man, and Charles Parker, and everyone else around. Only I'm putting on the style. Putting on the style. Putting on the style. Putting on the style. Putting on the dirty style. Putting on the style. I'm putting on that style, and that style don't quite fit me, man, 'cause it's a bit tight under the arms. So I think I'm gonna buy myself a new style, one that's got a bit of a drape in the back, man, 'cause I'm putting on the style.
I have been trying to get my son into a good school. After trying Winchester, Marlborough and Charterhouse, I was recommended to send him to that great British public school, Crettenby. Now, some of you may never heard of Crettenby. It's in the heart of the swamp country. Difficult place to get into, and harder still to get out of. I motored down there the following day. I was shown into the headmaster's study.
Come into the headmaster's study, sir, would you? He'll be down in a minute.
Good afternoon. I'm the headmaster. Are you a parent?
Well, I have a small son.
I detest evasiveness. What age is he?
He's 8.
8. Only 8. The awkward age. 12 for Mother Goose and 2 young for Lolita. Here is my brochure. Just glance through it for a few moments, would you?
Well, that's very interesting. It's a photograph of the school.
Oh, say, the fire escape doesn't look very safe in this picture.
It's a lot safer in the picture than it is on the building.
Is it examined every week?
It's used every week.
Tell me, is this school co-educational?
You can't baffle me with long words.
I mean, do the boys and girls share the same curriculum?
No, we had separate ones built.
Well, how do you segregate the sexes?
If you must know, I go round with a crowbar and I prise them apart.
Oh dear, I don't think this will suit my Basil. You see, he's very sensitive and he's never been separated from his mother.
He hasn't? Have you read what Havelock Ellis has to say about that?
No?
Then I'll show you. It's disgusting.
Oh, well, I don't think I'll see it now.
Then I'll send you a copy in the plain wrappers. No one would know.
I must tell you that my boy is very delicate and there is something I would like to know. Are your dormitories dry?
They are after 11 p.m. Then they get drinks if they buy sandwiches.
I see. Tell me, what types of pupil do you have here?
We have two types of pupil, Class A and Class B. At meal times, the Class B boys get priority.
And the Class A boys?
They get food.
You mean to tell me that the Class B boys don't eat?
I never pry into their private lives. Perhaps you'd like to see one of our typical pupils. Farnsworth! Farnsworth!
Coming, sir.
This is Farnsworth, one of our better 8-year-olds. He is 29. You may go, Farnsworth.
Thank you, sir.
Hurry along.
Tell me, the teaching the books, is that on the Montessori system?
Sometimes, but I find that most people prefer to pay cash.
Oh, then you have no syllabus of your own.
I don't think it concerns you how I choose to spend my leisure. As it happens, we are just good friends.
Yeah, it all seems very confusing. Your answers aren't a bit like the ones I received from the headmaster at Winchester.
Oh, you've been hawking our brat around, have you?
No, it's not that. It's just that I want something to suit his personality. I'm looking for something progressive.
Well, we encourage children to be children. You may not realize this, sir, but some of our greatest men started life as children. Ah, there goes the bell for prep. One of the subjects we specialize in, prep. Some of my boys speak it like a native.
Mr. Headmaster, I'm going to be brutally frank with you. Have you got a record of juvenile delinquency?
Singing what?
No, I mean I want something to prove to me that the boys here have strengthened their personalities.
Well, perhaps you would like to hear the school choir. Miss Pringle, I wonder if you would oblige.
Names and jabbers, come away, come away. Names and jabbers, come away, come away, come away. For it is Flora's holiday, it is Flora's holiday, it's Flora's naughty little holiday. Names and jabbers, come away, come away. Names and jabbers, come away, come away, come away.
I've been practicing rather hard since I last spoke to you, but now I've got something that really is... Just hear for yourself. I've got a clock that wakes me every morning for my train. I've got a corn that gives me warning when it's going to rain. I've had a dream that's coming true. I've got a sweetie in view. I'm as happy as I could be 'cause I've fallen in love with the girl you see. I haven't told her, hasn't told me, but we know it just the same. Saturday night on her city, oh what a time there's going to be. I haven't told her, she hasn't told me, but we know it just the same. She still calls me mister, but she won't, I know she won't, after I've kissed her. I've got an idea soon there'll be 1 little, 2 little, possibly 3. I haven't told her, she hasn't told me, but we know it just the same.
Hello. I've been watching you. I've been watching you feeding the birds. I think you're marvellous. Aren't they sweet?
Yes, sir.
I don't know how anyone can be cruel to dumb animals, do you? I think it's worse than murder because they can't speak. Excuse this somewhat crude attire, won't you? I was catching up with my sunbathing. Hasn't it been gorgeous?
Beautiful weather we have had.
Yes, because I've tan a lot faster in a bikini, you know. But where's the use of frightening everybody to death?
My goodness, you would not frighten me, because when I saw you first, I said to myself, my goodness, what a beautiful woman. I would so very much like to know such a woman of beauty.
Oh, now I'll call that truly gallant. Shall I get up and take a bow?
Please take one, by all means.
You come here often, do you?
Well, I come here quite often, as I said, to feed these birds,
Yes.
because I love the open air.
Well, it's very nice, isn't it? I mean, it's private without being insulated, if you know what I mean. I can see you're like me. I will not go into a public park and mingle with a hoi polloi.
I quite agree. I like to keep myself to myself.
Oh, aren't there some shocking people about? I mean, even here. Well, there's one woman at our hotel. Well, she's more of a person, really. She fascinates me.
Really?
You know, anything in trousers she graviates to.
Really?
I think you scum. How plural can you get? And then they wonder, you know, that they end up as Exhibit A.
I'm so lonely, you know, that I want to have conversation with you or someone.
Ah, well, you've only yourself to blame, you know, because I can never resist a true gentleman. My Jove, are they hard to come by nowadays. I should know. I was married straight out of the schoolroom, you know, to the most perfect gentleman that ever trod the earth.
Really?
I can see him now. On our wedding day, the tears was rolling down his face. He was so conscious of his trust. He'd promised Pops and Mama. Of course, they thought the worlds of me, you know. He'd promised Pops and Mama that I should never want, and my Jove, I never did. He gave me the most smashing home in Avalon Avenue. Do you know Dawson at all?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, they call it the Frinton of East 8, so that'll give you some idea. Everything a woman's heart could yearn for.
He has obviously left you very well off like that with money.
Well, yes, he did, but mind you, I've got the ample means to buy a splendid home any time I wish. It was Tufnell's one prayer to leave me comfortably off. But
I'm very pleased to hear that.
They do me very well, you know, at my hotel. Do you know the Royalston at all? It's very, very select, and the manager is a charming chap. He built Oakshott, you know, ex-naval type, and the staff's charming too. I'm afraid they spoil me thoroughly, you know. They give me a huge double room on the first floor with a private bath attached. Oh, well, it's almost equally as good as private, because all the others at the Royalston are business types, you know. They're almost always gone before yours truly has even opened her eyes.
Oh.
I'm afraid I'm a bit of a naughty girl like that. I love to lay in my beddy by, dreaming my dreams.
I wish that I could share your dreams with you.
Now that I did not hear. That I have decided completely to ignore. You're not nice to know, you know.
I'm so sorry. I'm so full of enthusiasm to have your friendship, to receive great pleasure from knowing you, that I said a stupid thing like that. Forgive me. I'm so very sorry.
Oh, well, you're forgiven. I was just going to ask you back to Dindin's when we...
Well, I would love to come. Please ask me.
They keep a smashing table at the Royalston, you know. We nearly always have a second vegetable and always croutons with a soup. And if you ever feel like having half a bottle of Beaujolais, they practically fall over themselves backwards bringing it in for you. I always say, as long as there's enough to see me out, what happens afterwards, it's San Ferrian.
Oh, you speak French.
Un petit peu.
Oh, but you have got a very fine accent, you know.
Oh, your blue eyes.
No, I mean it. Listen, say this with me. Say this with me. We'll speak French together. Are you ready?
Yes.
Voulez-vous
coucher
avec moi ce soir?
Oh, you rotten egg. I'll set below shot onto you.
Oh, you know what it means. You know what it means. You're a woman of the world.
Oh, come on, let's go over to my hotel and have a talk.
I'd like to come and stand closer to you.
What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Listen, I don't even know your name, you know?
Well, shall I tell you a very private name that Tufnell kept for me?
Please, please.
He used to call me Squidgy.
Oh, no. Oh, Squidgy.
Don't you think that's sweet?
It's beautiful for you. It fits you so perfectly.
Do you like this shade of blue?
Yes. What is it?
It's called Blue Toast.
Oh.
Tufnell used to go crackers about me and anything blue. He used to say, Squidgy, buy herself a blue nightie. Make her eyes look like stars.
Oh, that is so sad, so beautiful.
I believe you're jealous.
Oh. Come along. Now, shall we?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm nothing. I'm just helping you from your deck chair.
Well, pick my bag up then.
All right. Come, let us go to your hotel.
Yeah, I don't belong to you yet,
Oh, I'm so pleased that I've had the chance of meeting you, you know?
It's a block
I'd just like to say good afternoon, Mr. Banerjee, and take this opportunity of welcoming you and your musicians to the studio.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to have the opportunity of coming here.
Tell me, have you found that there has been great enthusiasm for George?
Oh my goodness, yes. We have got a lot of people in India and indeed in Pakistan who are loving to hearing the words of George Bernard Shaw. We are saying to ourselves over there, this man has got a great white beard, so therefore he must have great knowledge. And so we are saying to ourselves, that is what we are wanting. That is what we are wanting. We are wanting to hear words of this man so that we can learn them and sing them and play them.
Have you visited the shrine of GBS in Ayr St. Lawrence at all?
Or indeed, yes. We have all been there. We went on a bus coach tour to Ayr St. Lawrence and we are saying to ourselves, my goodness, here we are where this great man was living. And we went in the first days to look around and we are saying that is where he was sleeping and this is where he was eating and this is another room and all kinds of rooms in this house were very good for us to know of.
Have you taken the story of My Fair Lady and as it stands, or have you changed it at all? What have you done with it?
Well, what we have done with it, you see, I am playing what is called over here Professor Higgins. I am playing Professor Amdalagi. I am walking through the marketplace one day at near Mahalakshmi, which is near Bombay, you understand? And I am walking by there and I am saying to my friend who is with me, I am saying, look, there over there is a beautiful untouchable girl, beautiful. And he says, oh yes, but she is untouchable. We don't want to know her. Chut, I am saying, chut. I am making her touchable. That is what I am doing. You see? And I am saying to her, come with me, my dear, and I will make you touchable. And she said to me, no, I am untouchable. That's good enough for me.
Do you have a good caste?
Oh yes, indeed. I come from a very high caste. Oh yes, I can safely say that.
No, I wasn't referring to what I mean. Is there a good cast in the show?
Well, yes, we have a very excellent cast. I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you're saying. We have all kinds of stars from India. We have two people from Assam. We have another woman who has come all the way from Ceylon.
What have you called the songs? I mean, have you changed the titles of the songs at all?
Oh yes, well, naturally we have had to change one or two of them. The main song we have featured is we have now called "Get Me to the Taj Mahal on Time," and I've grown accustomed to your dhoti, and I would like to sing for you now this beautiful song. What we are doing under the tour. And I think when you've heard it, you will say, my goodness me, what a lovely song. Or words to that effect.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Oh, would it not be lovely? Lots of chocolate for me to eat, lots of coal making lots of heat. Warm face, warm hands, warm foot. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, so lovely sitting up so blooming loosely still. Watch a cocky, I would never budge till spring. Crap on the windowsill, someone's head is resting on my knee. Warm and tender as she can be, who's taking good care of me. Oh, would it not be lovely, 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 lovely? Lovely, sitting up so blooming loot, ye still I would never budge till spring. Crept on the window sill, someone's head is resting on my knee. Warm and tender as he can be, who's taking good care of me. Oh, would it not be lovely, lovely, lovely? Would it not be lovely? Would it not be lovely? Thank you.
Begin as soon as you like, please, would you?
I beg your pardon?
Would you start as soon as you can, please? We're in a hurry. We have a lot of people to see.
Right. I prepared... can you hear me?
Yes.
I prepared a short extract from the Richard III soliloquy, which I do for you. Because if you don't mind, I won't read the script. My eyesight is not all as good as it is, and I like time to pore over it. But I do this, my memory isn't also what it was. But I do remember some of it. And,
be as quick as you can, would you please?
And now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer.
God, not another one.
So sorry. Glorious summer by the son of York.
There's some very interesting idiots coming along here, don't you? Don't blame me, Dad, it's not my fault.
Of the ocean, the bird.
Oh, you've forgotten it all now.
Yes, I got it. Mary. And now are our brows. What was it? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking.
Hello. Who, Pinky?
Now are our brows.
No, he's not here. Who is it? Oh, hello, darling. How are you? No, we're just watching some auditions. Oh, some old idiot. Yes, he's sitting right next to me. Oh, I don't know. We're just performing. Yes, all right. See you later, darling. Bye. Bye. By the way, was that girl any good? Oh, not bad, yes. I don't think she was quite right, I thought. It's funny, I thought she had right sort of appearance and everything. I think I'll have a word with her later. But of course.
He capers nimbly in milady's chamber.
Sure wasn't too good.
Well,
I didn't think it would run anyway.
But I,
that I'm not safe for spotty trick.
I think it'll probably be off within a few nights. Well, I would never put it on anyway.
That am rudely stamped.
What is your name, please? Your name?
Yes, a Minge. Warrington Minge.
Oh, well, we'll let you know.
Well, I had left my address with the...
Thank you.
The stage door.
No.
What?
Get him out of here.
You will let me know. Thank
we
you.
will let you know.
I'm so sorry about
Thank you. Very nice
my
of you.
My memory is not all that it was. You will get in touch with me. What? Tell me, one thing. Was it all right apart from the dries?
Yes, it was very good apart from the dries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have the next, please? The next, please. We haven't very much time now. Come along.
Oh, it's my children. Thank you.
Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Listen to the voice in a million as Peter Sellers sings George Gershwin.
George Gershwin.